Americans are having more sex with more people than ever before despite the AIDS epidemic. Joining us now is Alan. He's already tested HIV positive, yet he's enjoying what's been called America's second sexual revolution. And that's because you arrange and participate in so-called safe sex orgies?
Yes, we do. I run a group called the O Boys in New York with my co-founder, Marshall.
Now,
in New York? In L.A.
Okay.
I'm in New York now. We're throwing a party in Washington. We're becoming pretty international.
Now, let me ask, it strikes me at least a little ironic in some ways that somebody who has the virus that causes AIDS would be promoting this kind of activity.
People are going to have sex. People with HIV are going to have sex. People with AIDS are going to have sex, and there's no reason why they shouldn't. If people are taught the correct ways, the safer ways to have sex. I disagree, I'm sorry, with a lot of the people on the panel. You've got to use a condom when you're having penetrative sex. We insist on it. Everything we do is risky in the world. A seatbelt reduces the risk of a car crash. A condom reduces the risk of an illness.
Okay, but you've got 200 to 300 folks at these parties, right?
Ones, yeah.
Now, are you saying you like walk around like the condom police and check that everybody's using a condom?
When we started the group, there were 20 or 30 guys. A bunch of those guys are still together. We monitor each other. We have signs everywhere. We have educational materials everywhere. We provide condoms, lube, all of the things necessary to have a safer sex act.
At this point, let me let Dr. Stephen Joseph, who is a recognized authority on the whole subject of AIDS. You've written a book. You were the former health commissioner in New York City. You're about to jump out of your skin at this point.
Well, I can't believe what I'm hearing. You know, the city's in flames, and we're here arguing about whether we should carry gasoline in a can this big or a gasoline in a can that big. This is really outrageous.
Are you saying that nobody is going to have sex anymore?
No,
that people should stop having
of course
sex?
people have sex, and people can't be so frightened that we teach our kids that sex is bad. But the idea of mass, anonymous, repeated, unsafe sex being a good idea is insane.
First of all, we do not have unsafe sex. Second of all, it is not anonymous sex.
Safer sex. You're not secure, and you're being safer. What
Okay.
is safer?
Well,
I think there's a number of little dream worlds going on here on the panel. We've got the dream world of you can have sex without condoms and it's perfectly okay, and it's my life and I can do what I want with it. I don't think so.
Well,
on the other hand, we've got the don't have sex at all. Don't have any sex, go hide in a closet, repress yourself, drive yourself crazy with your sexual urge, but that'll keep your life better.
All right, Rachel,
let
me just say something here. Why is
about.
virginity a dirty word here? I mean,
Why is it
Rachel
something
seems to
that
be very
shouldn't
happy with
be looked
this.
upon
Rachel, if
like
it's your
anything
choice
else,
to
a
not have
choice?
sex at all, more power to you.
I'm not
I have no
talking-
problem with that, and I don't think anybody should. And I agree with you completely when you say that if someone is having unsafe sex, that's dangerous and wrong. I do think in some ways it's their choice because it takes two people to transmit a virus. But
It's
You know,
gone
but
you
beyond
can't go
that.
tell
It's
people
gone beyond. It's gone
Sex
far
with
beyond
200
that.
people in a room, or a swinging couple that doesn't protect themselves or anybody else, is not the same. It's a matter of freedom or expression. It's a matter of a time of epidemic
you
when the
can't
most important
legislate
thing.
morality,
I said
Dr.
nothing
Joseph.
about legislating
You can't
morality.
close down sex,
Wait,
legislate. You
you can't.
can't pass
Every-
laws.
first of all-
Prohibition doesn't work. Closing down places where people can gather and get information about sex and have
All right,
sex in a safer
Let me give
environment.
Rachel a chance.
First of all, if I could, and I were in a position to do so, I would criminalize a lot of this behavior. Simply due to the fact that it's not acceptable
Then
to the
you're a
community.
fascist.
I'm not a fascist.
Yes,
People
you
are
are.
not
Exactly
in
what you're
control.
talking
Yes,
about.
you're a
People are
fascist.
not in control enough of their own lives to be concerned
So
enough
you
about
want to
someone
do
else's.
that?
So,
They
and oh, the
can.
great sainted virgin Rachel can pass down her
All right,
laws.
all right,
Let
all
me
right.
ask Alan if he.
Dr.
Let's say,
Joseph,
let me ask
yeah.
Alan if he makes money or has a commercial aspect to his orgies.
The O Boys have never made a profit in almost 3 years
But is
of
it a
operating.
commercial operation?
It is not licensed as a not-for-profit
What does that have to
enterprise,
do
but
with it?
people make a contribution at the door, and we provide them with
Well,
the
I'll tell
space
you,
and the
if I were health
condoms and the
commissioner-
lube.
If I were still health commissioner in this city, and this was a
If you
commercial...
were still health commissioner
and
in
let
this
me finish.
city,
And if
the
it were a
same thing that
commercial
happened when you
operation...
were health commissioner would happen.
Yes,
and
and-
you would be doctoring numbers, and you would be cutting AIDS budgets.
Baloney.
In 1986, you released a
Absolutely
report.
baloney.
All right,
In
all right.
1986,
That was
you
correct.
were
Excuse me,
implanted
Alan,
with
I'd like to
Ivor
get back-
Reiner in LA.
I'd like to get back to the issue because it's an important
Okay.
one. And it has to do with the fact,
I'm sorry.
that people are not heeding the message about AIDS. It seems like, I mean, I was shocked when I was reading for this show about how people are having more sex, multiple partners. It's like people have suddenly just given up. They've said it can't happen to me. And I want to ask you why you think that is, Dr. Joseph. When we come back, we'll be back.
All of these issues, we need to look at the reality of what people are actually doing, what people need to do. The sexual drive is a very powerful drive, and it's one of the things that make us human beings. I think we need to look at the way people are acting. Now, the O-Boys in LA are a group of people who like to get together in large groups and create a community where sexual freedom is acceptable, where people are not repressed about it, but where people are taught how to do what they like to do safely. I think that, you know, whatever anybody wants to do is fine within reason, but understand the safety issues.
I have a
Rachel,
question about
go ahead.
this. It's ironic to me that you, as a community member, think it's perfectly all right to do whatever you want to do, and yet you expect taxpayers to pay for you and everyone else that's sick as a result of your, mainly a result of your behavior. So what you're saying is, it's perfectly okay for me as a community member to do whatever I want to do, but boy, when I get sick, that money better be there because I need the research, I need the technology, and I need to be taken care of. What? That's true. That's all true. But you have a responsibility to me and to everybody in here, and that's to abstain from sex because it isn't right when you're risking your life and everyone else's.
I have no responsibility to you about what I do with my life because I'm not going to have sex with you.
Yes, you do.
And it doesn't matter to me what you do. Now, if what I do matters to you, then you can go sit somewhere and worry about me.
Okay. Okay.
I'm sitting here
I'm just
worrying
worried about who's going to bear the burden if you get sick. Who's going to take care of you? Who's going to pay the bills? You know, are you independently wealthy or what? I mean,
I'm insured. There's a health system that should be in place for everybody, and ultimately it will be.
it should be, but it's not.
If there would
Talking
be a
about
lot,
this country?
hopefully in place in this country, hopefully. That's what we're
but,
hoping
you know,
for. But I've got
it's not.
family, I've got friends, I've got a network. I've got my co-founder of the O-Boys, Marshall, who's here. My mother is here. It's all a matter of supporting each other and what we want.
But
Whatever
not everybody has that support system.
What's that?
A lot of people don't have that support
And
system.
the O-Boys are creating one. And organizations like us are creating a support system. The gay men's community we're more on top of the AIDS issue than anybody else. And now that the infection rate is skyrocketed and spread much further, people are looking to the gay male community for answers. Now, as part of the gay male community, as someone who's been active in sexual issues and sexual safety issues and AIDS issues, we are here to say there's information out there, there's ways to protect yourself. If you're going to do something that's riskier,
All right.
there are things to learn to reduce those risks.
Quickly, if you would.
Okay, I would like to know why you're promoting sex if you already have AIDS. You know, you're risking other people's life,
Because
you know?
sex is fun. Sex is a basic desire. There's no reason people should not be having sex. Just be careful about it.
Do you let the people that you sleep with know that you're HIV positive?
We have signs everywhere. There's a way to learn about how to minimize the risks. The O-Boys...
Here, Alan, let me just tell you something, okay?
Yeah.
My concern is people hear what they want to hear, and when you're talking about a killer disease, they want to hear that it's not going to happen to them. And isn't it better to err on this side of education and trying to really inform people and even scare people a little bit if it's
but
necessary?
when we show people, when we demonstrate to people how they can have the sex that they want to have safely or as safe as possible, our safe sex rules are... You do not exchange...
Vanessa, please. Thank you.
You do not exchange bodily fluids at an O-Boy party. You use condoms if you're having anal intercourse, and you respect the wishes of someone else.
So
if the other person at the party
without
believes
condoms
you can
and you
get
think you're
AIDS
safe?
through oral transmission, then they will use a condom.
All right.
When I hear all of this,
Dr. Joseph, how would you respond to that? Is that a false sense of complacency?
I think she's had a lot of odds break in her favor, but they're not
Okay.
going to stay
Hey,
that way
I've
for
got
long. that's
HIV.
all.
I will probably contract AIDS at some point, and my life is going to be shorter than a lot of other people's. While I'm alive, I'm going to have the safest possible continuing sex that I can with people who know who I am and what I do.
Okay, I want to get to you, but you...
If you're infected, and you can infect everybody else you sleep with or you share needles and
I
syringes.
wanted to ask Rachel. Rachel, when you get married, are you going to continue to use a condom with your
You know,
husband
to be
throughout
honest with
your
you,
married
I'm really
life?
concerned about marriage. I'm very concerned about the prospects of finding someone who is disease-free.
So you're gonna,
And
and a white horse, it's not going to happen.
it's not going to
darling.
happen.
Now,
not gonna
wait a second here.
not gonna happen.
Vanessa, give it a rest. Will you? This woman, I mean, she's got certain standards.
I
She's
have
trying to
and
make
I'll
a
tell you
life.
something, abstinence is the only way to secure not getting sick. And
when you
I've had
use
a
a
very
vibrator?
full, I'm a very normal, you know, person who has
All
a very
right.
full life as a result of
I
making
found
that
it- I
choice.
found a night.
Abstinence
It
will save
happens.
you
It
from
does
getting
happen.
sick, but it sure is
It's,
not about
it's
pleasure.
unfortunate, but I think 10 years from now, the only people that are going to be sitting on that panel is Rachel, Dr. Joseph, and maybe the one at the end that's, I think she's lying, though. I'm not sure. I applaud you for holding on to your virginity.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, thank you.
I'd like to leave my number.
Oh, now he puts the pitch in. You should leave him wanting more. Don't leave your number. All right, we're out of time. I want to thank you for joining us, the audience, our guests. Have a great day. We'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care. For a transcript of our show, please send $5 along with the program name, subject, and air date to Burrell's Transcripts, Post Office Box 7, Livingston, New Jersey, 07039. For a video cassette, call 1-800-4-VIDEO.